campers, what's up? It's Yana. I wasn't planning on doing daily vlogs, so I don't know what this is. I just kind of randomly decide on the day whether I want to film or not. But I guess this is a vlog and I'm just winging it. Actually, winging it is kind of the motto of this camp because I don't have a plan, I barely have an outline. I'm just playing, which is actually kind of great. Anyway, so I haven't really written anything since last night's midnight kickoff, but during that kickoff I wrote enough words for basically today and tomorrow almost, so I'm fine. I mean, my daily goal isn't that high anyway. However, I am just about to go for a run and then I'm gonna come back, take a shower and try to write some more because I don't want to get ahead, because I'm sure there's going to be some 0-word days later on in the month. And since I am about to go for a run, I thought I'd very quickly chat to you about being a writer and trying to stay physically fit, or at least physically healthy. Now, obviously, as writers, we spend a lot of time hunched over keyboards. I don't know about you, but my neck always clicks, and so does my back. So that's not great. And we also spend a lot of time indoors, which is also not that great. So it's a really good idea to try to have some sort of exercise goal for the day. I've mentioned in another video, which I'm gonna link down below, maybe, if it's helpful for someone. I mentioned that I have a step counter on my phone and I try to hit at least 12,000 steps per day if I don't do any other exercise, at least 12,000 steps. So that I know that I've moved from my bed, because I also work from home quite a bit, especially right now. And on top of that, for July, I also mentioned in my last camp video that I have some fitness goals. Now, what this tells you though is that I clearly don't always practice what I preach, because if I did, I wouldn't be scrambling this month to get back skills that I used to have, like being able to do the splits, being able to run a 5K, having some abs and some core strength, and having at least a little bit of arm strength. My arm strength has never been great. But at least I am trying. I've been watching a lot of Beastmaster, and that's kind of inspired me to want to run obstacle courses, which I obviously can't do right now, but at least to get some strength back. So I guess this is just my PSA for the day for you. Try, as you write, try to do a little bit of exercise, whatever you can. Obviously, everyone's circumstances and everyone's condition is different, but if nothing else, at least try to write in different positions so that your back doesn't have so much strain on it, or your neck or your shoulders, and all of that. But if you can and if you have the time, how about you come on a run with me right now, or do some other exercise while I'm running, just for a few minutes, just so that you can kind of get your blood flowing. You might even get more inspired to write later on. All right, let's go for a run. See, a lot of the time I have to really kick myself to go out, but then once I'm out, I usually really enjoy it. Because, I mean, there's fresh air, it smells really nice right now because it's summer, and definitely my head is much less likely to hurt if I've had some oxygen during the day. So, okay, but here we are. This is the beginning of my usual running route. So, let's go for it. It's a squirrel! Oh. Okay, so that's 2 laps around the park down for me, which is enough for now, because I only started running again the other day. So I'm definitely far away from the 5K. I think the problem for me is that I'm not a bad runner. I was even on the track team at high school, although, to be fair, that wasn't very competitive. But the problem is I find it's
so cute. I find running really boring, so it's kind of difficult for me to stay motivated to do it. And I think the thing that's motivating me is that I know I can do 5K because I've already done it before when I ran collar run inflatable obstacle course with a few of my friends. So because I know I can do it and I've done it before, it's kind of embarrassing not to be able to do that anymore. So I'm like, oh, come on, you can push a bit more. But otherwise I find it so boring. All right, let's leave the squirrel alone and go back home and do some writing. Bye, squirrel. Bye. You gonna wave? We're gonna pretend you're waving. Bye.
Okay, so it's clearly a little bit later, by which I mean it's a lot later, and that's just because I stopped to do a few things that were work related, and then I also had to order some groceries, and time just flew by. Does that happen to you sometimes when there's a few small tasks that you could totally do later, but you just know that you're not going to be able to relax and work if you don't do them first, and you just feel like you're going to forget and then it's going to be a problem? That's how I feel sometimes when if there's a big task during the day, obviously it's more difficult to forget about that, but if it's a few small things that you could do later, but they would be important if you completely forget about them, that makes me nervous, and I had to do that first. So then I had a shower, which is why my hair is wet, and now it's nearly 9 p.m, but we are finally going to get to work. And I'm actually sitting on the floor right now. I talked earlier about how much we strain our backs while we write, and that's my Discord going off again. And this is one of the ways that I kind of try to improve that a little bit. So I'm using my bed as a desk. I can't write on a real desk because I find it incredibly uncomfortable, but this is actually a very comfortable height, and also it's soft, so it's more comfortable for your elbows. And then I can change my positions on the floor if my leg falls asleep or whatever. So if my back hurts, this is a very good way to kind of deal with that. Anyway, I should stop babbling and actually write. I'm still puzzle writing. So this scene that I'm going to start writing right now is just a random scene that I pulled from the story. It doesn't come after the one that I wrote yesterday. And again, this is fun. It's really taking me way back to when I was a kid and I used to do that. But it's not something that I would recommend doing often. I don't want to say it's not real writing, but it's not good writing, because obviously for some of these scenes I don't know all the details, so I'm just throwing words out there sometimes, and they're not the right words. So this is definitely getting heavily edited while camp is still happening. I told you guys that I edit as I go along, because otherwise I would just hate revising, and that would be a pity because I normally love revising. So I'm gonna do a few scenes like that, but when I have a full day off, I will spend some time actually planning and outlining, and I'm gonna whip these guys into shape instead of continuing onwards and just tossing scenes out there that are not the best quality. But for now, we're just going to discovery write. All right, let's go. So this is incredibly fun right now. I kind of had a location and a character showing up roughly at the same time, but when I sat down to write, initially I intended to introduce the new location. But then I kind of thought, okay, but it makes sense for this character to show up here. And then he showed up, they started talking to each other, and then one question led to another, and now they're going in a completely different direction, and I'm probably not even going to describe the location today. I actually really love when this happens. This is very normal for the way that I write. Even when it's the later stages of a novel, and even if I had everything plotted, I still do a lot of discovery, especially in dialogue. I kind of just try to let the characters naturally talk to each other, and I usually learn some things that I didn't know before, and then I go back and replot or fix things depending on where they've gone. My stories tend to be very character driven, so I try to listen to the characters' voices, and I don't force them to do things, if that makes sense. They just kind of form naturally in my head, and then they behave the way that they behave, and they sometimes take me places that I really didn't expect. This is not so much unexpected in terms of how the dialogue's going, because we're just discovering information I already knew we were going to find out, but I didn't know this was going to happen here or in this particular way. So I'm excited. It's like, I love writing as if I'm reading, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen next. I can guess, but I don't know exactly. Dun dun dun! And we've also just ended with a shocking reveal at the end of that scene. I'm actually really happy with what I've done today. I think that's enough for tonight, but let's check how much I've written. So that divided by 645, which is how much I have to write per day to get 20,000 in 31 days. That will last me enough for like 3 days. So I've done pretty well today. But that's okay. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna write tomorrow. But it's nice to have a good, solid, a good solid head start. Okay. All right. So that's enough for today, for this daily vlog, which is actually so much longer than I thought it would be. But thanks guys very much for watching. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you have any tips on how to keep healthy as a writer, or at least how to improve your posture or put less pressure on your back and your neck and everything that we put pressure on as writers. And I will see you at some point. I'm still not promising I'm gonna do daily vlogs, so I'll see you at some point with another video. Bye!